morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Season Keepers, the show where the only two people we recommend keeping for the season is us. My name's Matt, aka Clean Sheet Wipeout.
My name's James, aka SK James FPL.
Hey, it's been a while. You just about remembered.
Yeah, I
Good
did.
man. It's been a what felt like a bloody long double game week, but she started on Friday and then finished last night. So timestamp. We're recording this obviously on Thursday the 20th to hopefully get it in your ears before the deadline, which comes tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's coming thick and fast. It's been an interesting week, so hopefully we can give you some insight or thoughts before you pick your team for the next deadline.
Yeah, basically just don't listen to me. We'll come on to why shortly. All right, well, let's just get stuck into the games then, mate, and then we can discuss our teams later. So, first things first, it was Brighton 1, Palace 1.
Yeah, perhaps maybe expected more, or at least hope for a bit more from Brighton
Hmm.
in this one. Obviously, a lot of people brought in their players because they've got a double. A lot of people going for Trossard. I went for Trossard and Veltman. I was actually on a wild card because my team was just in a mess. Um, Veltman just because of how cheap he is,
Yeah.
and he obviously plays twice. And Trossard, a lot of people seem to be doing it, and I got caught up in the hype, I think.
Yeah, likewise. Let's not talk about Trossard to the end, mate, because it's cost me about 20 points, but never mind. Um,
um, yeah,
the pen, obviously, that was taken from Brighton, absolutely dreadful. It was what,
yeah,
Pascal Gross?
gross.
Yeah, oh, awful penalty. Obviously, Butland stepped into goal for Palace and saved it. I think he's come away with 4 saves, 3 bonus points, a pen save. He's done bloody well out of it, and despite conceding, he came away with 11 points.
Yeah, very good return for him. That kind of annoyed me because it would have been a Veltman assist
Yeah,
for that pen,
I know.
and obviously he bloody missed it.
Yeah, and obviously the man of the moment, or what has felt like most of the season for Palace, was Gallagher once again with a goal.
Oh, big time. I was on him early in his previous strong spell, and I'm just gutted that I don't have him anymore.
Mm.
Obviously, that's just the way it went with them not having too many fixtures and him being injured.
Yeah, and COVID,
And
wasn't
I'm
it?
not
So
even sure how I'm going to get him back, to be honest, because at the moment, the next few weeks, you've kind of got transfers booked in for, say, Salah and other players. So, but yeah, if you can get him into your team, get him into your team.
yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously they got Liverpool this weekend, but then it's Norwich and Brentford, then it's Chelsea, but then it's Burnley and Wolves. So I think that they are still reasonable fixtures for Palace, and they've got one game to catch up on, and we'll come on to that at the end of the pod about who's got the most games to cover and whatnot. But yeah, I still think Gallagher at his price, it's what, 6.1 million. He's such a bargain, and yeah, I wouldn't be against anybody wildcarding in the future to go with him.
Agreed.
Moving on then to the early kickoff on the Saturday, and it was an okay game. Wasn't the best spectacle I've ever seen, but Man City, as always, come away with a win, and it was Man City 1, Chelsea nil.
Yeah, strong performance from City in this one. Also quite a decent performance from Kepa in goal
Yeah,
for his standards. Made a few decent saves, sort of almost keeping a minute at times. And yeah, obviously another City clean sheet. I brought in Laporte in the wild card for this, but I just couldn't fit him in. So he's first on my bench,
oof,
which obviously annoys me when we realise who played in the second fixture for Man United.
yep.
But we'll come on to that. But yeah, no, City very strong, and it looks like the title is probably theirs.
Yeah, I think other teams around them are dropping far too many points. And as you said, clean sheet. Cancelo once again got himself an assist, came away with an 11 pointer. His points just continue to rack up. And De Bruyne with a bit of magic to win the game is obviously a player that not many are on, and probably because he's 12.1 million, and you've got the likes of Foden, Sterling that are kind of keeping up with him, but he's starting to hit a bit of a purple patch. He's obviously had 2 goals and an assist in the last 4 games, playing more consistently now. And with City's fixtures coming up, it's Southampton, Brentford, and Norwich is the next three. If KDB starts, I think he could haul in all 3 of those games.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He's looked very good since he sort of come back into the team.
Mm. Whereas obviously on Chelsea's side, they've got Tottenham at home this weekend, and then they've got 3 blanks in the next 4 games. So if, like me, you're potentially on at least one defensive Chelsea asset, I'm an Alonso. I think the next plan is to get rid, because we can't be having a player, particularly with upcoming doubles, which again we'll touch on. You can't be having a player there sitting there with blanks. And I've already got, Trossard, we've both brought him in. He blanks in game week 24 anyway, so he's going to have to be benched. I can't spend the money on the likes of Alonso for them to just sit there and not play 3 times.
No, exactly, and you need your bench in these times because games get called off, players get injured, players get COVID. It's a bit of a minefield. So yeah, I'd imagine most people will be selling their Chelsea players, and I definitely wouldn't buy any.
No, God no. But you'll be wanting to buy them back in game week 28, dependent on obviously form and how they've maybe looked at the Club World Cup and injuries and whatnot. Because from game week 28 all the way to game week 33, their fixtures look unbelievable.
I don't think I can bring myself to bring Reece James back into my team.
Oh God no.
Just for another one and 2 pointers.
Yeah,
It's just
I think
painful.
there's probably at least 4 clean sheets in there. So perhaps someone like Rudiger, for instance, or a Mason Mount, is a cheaper alternative in midfield. But yeah, I think that's definitely targetable. The next game, obviously, for what we felt could potentially be a double for the away side, quickly became a single game day, and they kind of grabbed an equaliser late on in the game. It was Newcastle 1, Watford 1.
Yep, Ben Foster back in the side for Watford. Most people's second keeper. I played him this week over Ramsdale. Obviously, Ramsdale didn't have a fixture.
Yeah.
Foster had 2. I guess Newcastle will be a bit disappointed to have let this one slip, considering their position in the league.
Definitely.
Would have been a very big win for them. And St. Maximin seems to be doing okay lately. I think he scored 2 on the bounce. I'm potentially looking at him in my team, depending on what I do.
Okay. Yeah, well, I suppose with Leeds, Everton up next as the next 2 fixtures, it's not too bad. But yeah, I think there are definitely periods for Newcastle that look quite targetable, and they've obviously got 2 fixtures to catch up on, which again is Everton and Southampton. So
I think their next 3 look quite tasty.
Yeah.
Like Leeds is always a good fixture for your attackers.
Yeah, and someone like St. Maximin.
Everton maybe not as tasty as it would have been with Benitez.
Yeah,
maybe they might be a bit more positive now, a bit kind of almost get that kind of post-manager sacking bounce.
Yeah, because it's Big Dunk, isn't it? He's taken into charge.
Yeah, I think that'll give him a boost.
Yeah, agreed, and he'll probably set up slightly differently. See, I think Everton, we'll come on to them shortly, are a slightly different outfit after that sacking news. And then obviously Watford, the debate post double game week, which quickly became a single game week, was King or Dennis, and it was neither. It was Shell Pedro.
Yeah, it was. I guess hardly anyone's going to be on João Pedro. 0.4% of players to be precise, because he's done basically hardly anything all season. It's a painful one as a Dennis owner, and I'm sure for you as a King owner,
it's frustrating.
Yeah, hopefully the returns will come. But they've got a very good fixture next, Norwich. So if they can't do it then when can they do it?
Well, you say that, but the next game, mate, Norwich 2, Everton 1.
Yeah. I mean, Norwich, big surprise in this one. I thought Everton would win, but obviously strong performance from Norwich. And worrying times for Everton, obviously. The own goal from Keane.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous own goal. And obviously the end for Benitez.
Yeah, 20 minutes in to be 2-0 down to Norwich is madness. And yeah, like you said, Everton.
I don't know if you saw who got the assist. Tom tweeting about how he was hopeful for a 16-pointer from Michael Keane.
Yeah.
And he goes and scores an own goal.
Bags an own goal, gets himself -2. Oh, it was one of those days, wasn't it? But there was some baffling decisions. Like obviously Rondon started for Everton. Yeah, I know Richarlison's been injured for a while, but if he's fit enough to be on the bench, you surely want to play him in this kind of game. And obviously Richarlison came on, scored a spectacular overhead kick, got themselves back in the game. But yeah, I think Everton were just poor, and Norwich have suddenly found a formation in a kind of 11 that really seems to suit what Dean Smith's trying to push there. And Ida, pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, has obviously looked pretty sharp the last few games and finally bagged himself his goal.
Yeah, decent pacey striker. I signed him for Salford on my FIFA season a year ago.
Nice. You were ahead of the trend then.
Yeah, great talent.
Good man, good man. And then obviously Williams was the one to get the assist, and he's dropped down to what 3.9 million now. So for those on wildcard, if you've got the likes of a Brandon Williams, I think he might have came off with a knock, but I've not heard any other news on that yet. If it's 3.9 million and he's going to continue to play, Norwich have some good fixtures in there. Plus, you know, if you're stuck like me with a Livramento, who is injured currently, a downgrade to a Brandon Williams will still sit third on my bench most likely. Means I can use the extra 0.4 elsewhere, and that could be key.
Yeah, no, it's a great shout to have a playing player at 3.9.
And then moving on to the next fixture, and another one, to be fair, with a very good cheap defensive asset, which we'll come on to shortly. It was Wolves 3, Southampton 1.
It's a shame about the result, but my takeaway from this game is Prowsey's free kick. What a strike, and a different technique to what he usually
he had
does.
the knuckleball on him? Honestly, that was an
Yeah,
unbelievable strike.
filth,
Yeah,
absolute filth.
about 40
And
yards out.
genuinely think he's the best. He's easily the best free kick taker in the Prem.
Yeah,
I reckon he could even be in the world right
I
now.
think
He
so.
is sensational.
Oh god, yeah, and I think during his time he will inevitably overtake Beckham's free kick record in the Premier League. If he's then producing strikes like that, you know, goalkeepers, they can predict that he's going to go over the wall, top bins and whatnot. You still can't stop him. That strike was probably goal of the season for me at the moment, because no matter where Sarr positions himself, he's never going to get it.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like a penalty now. If anything gets awarded just outside the box or even far away from
Yeah.
the box in this case, then yeah, it's basically a penalty. So we should maybe consider playing more players that sort of win free kicks. So maybe Gineppo, just get him fouled every game like we used to with Mane.
Yeah, true.
And Prowse is so reliable. Like it almost feels like a penalty. You feel pretty confident that he's probably going to score. You're not even surprised.
You do, yeah. And this game was a frustrating one to watch because we had so many chances to at least, you know, equalise and win the game. And Sarr, I think, came away with 9 saves. It sums up the way we were playing. We just, the chances fell to us, and we were either taking pot shots from outside the box, or we were just, you know, scuffing our efforts. And for me personally, I still don't think it was a penalty, but I'm obviously going to be slightly biased. The standout, I suppose, for me on Wolves' side was Aït-Nouri. I thought he was fantastic. And he's 4.3 million. Obviously, Wolves have just continued to keep clean sheets. Aït-Nouri had a good run from game week 9 to 16, missed out for 2 or 3 games, came back for this one, played another 90 minutes. If he was nailed, I think he could go straight into a lot of teams, because he's slightly cheaper than Max Kilman, but I think he has more of an attacking output.
Oh, big time. And I don't know if it was an injury that made him miss out, because I think Marcel came in, and obviously now Marcel's slipped out.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's very cheap. I was thinking about Kilman on the wild card actually, and I just didn't go there in the end. But probably in hindsight, obviously would have been a better pick than Beltman. But you just get drawn into the double game week players.
You do,
and
exactly. That's the big thing, is the whole
Yeah.
double game week. And obviously with Wolves, for instance, they're one of the teams that, again, have fixtures to catch up on, and through no fault of their own, I think it's Watford and Arsenal. Depending on where those lie, if you've got a double game week with Watford in there, you could potentially look at two clean sheets for Wolves, and they continue to just not concede goals. I think is it 16 now they've conceded this season. It's not a lot at all. And
No.
Sarr, I think, has gone so under the radar, like 5.2 million, only 6.8% owned, but he's kept 8 clean sheets so far this season. And the vast majority have been in the second half of what we played so far, from say game week 11 onwards. He's a brilliant goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I don't know why I guess you don't tend to think about goalkeepers too much in this game, especially when we had obviously Ramsdale doing well. I think if I was on maybe Sanchez or someone else, I would have considered the move to Saar.
Mm.
But because I've had Ramsdale, I've not really thought about it too
Yeah,
much.
agreed. Yeah, Saar will be very much on my consideration, as and when I decide to wildcard. That's for sure.
Mm.
And then obviously the final game on the Saturday, and the game that basically started our frustration for this game week was Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 2.
Yeah, but great comeback from Villa. Obviously, great sub from Stevie G to bring on Coutinho, and what
Changed
an
the game.
impact he had.
Yeah,
Great finish. Just slid it in, and yeah, so the Villa Park was buzzing after that,
yeah.
as you'd expect.
God, yeah.
Uh, yeah, the atmosphere was amazing, and he's really kind of building something there at Villa. Obviously, Coutinho came because of Gerrard, and maybe Gerrard can lure in few other players like that, and
Yeah,
especially when you have Coutinho there, it's going to draw people in even more.
yep. And obviously, if you've got the likes of Jacob Ramsey, I thought he had an exceptional game. Obviously, goal and an assist. And in an FPL, he's only
Bargain,
4.6 million. Yeah, it's
yeah.
he seems to fit this system incredibly well. And he just looks so lively, but he looks like he wants to be there. And obviously, I think that's the type of player that the Villa fans can get right behind. And if he's able to build that energy in the ground, then the likes of Coutinho and stuff can push that on. But if I had to choose between Ramsey and Coutinho, say on a wild card at the moment, I'd be going Ramsey.
Yeah, it's considerably cheaper, so the risk is much lower. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't pay off too much.
Yeah, exactly that. And on the other side, this was frustrating because I believed that Ronaldo was going to be fit, as I think we both did. So
Well,
obviously
yeah, because fucking Rangnick said he would be.
exactly. So I put the armband on him, but in believing that he was going to be fit, I chose not to go Bruno Fernandes because for the games that I've seen in which Ronaldo is on the pitch, and again we'll discuss it for the second game, I think Bruno is isolated quite often, can't get into the positions that he wants to get into, and his attacking output is poor when he's on the pitch with Ronaldo. Obviously, in this game, Ronaldo misses out. Bruno becomes effectively the talisman of the team in this game. Picks himself up 14 points. Where the fuck's that come from? Like it was so annoying to see that. And yeah, obviously I went Trossard mainly because of like future fixtures, and I thought, well, save a bit of cash here. In hindsight, I should have just gone Bruno just in case. And obviously, we saw from that as FPL Insights about half an hour after the deadline that Maguire had taken Ronaldo out of his team and brought Lukaku in, and obviously that effectively meant that Ronaldo just wasn't going to play this weekend. So fucking annoying.
Yeah, very frustrating the Ronaldo thing, but I can understand why you didn't go Bruno. Obviously, I did,
Mm.
but his prior record was actually quite poor
Yeah,
in terms of points scored, goals, assists, whatever. So I totally understand why you didn't go there. But yeah, I did go there, and I would have captained Bruno had I known Ronaldo was actually a doubt or would miss the first game. I would have even maybe potentially not even included him on my wild card.
no, 100%. Yeah,
Um, so yeah, bit frustrating to get that kind of misinformation from Rangnick to that he should be ready for Villa. I
yeah,
was like, oh, brilliant, great, but yeah, turned
yeah.
out not that way.
No, exactly. And I mean, Bruno had one attacking return in 9 games prior to that, but like,
Exactly, and obviously the first goal was a howler from Martinez,
woeful.
so you can almost not count that one. But the second one was just a good goal.
It was, yeah,
So,
it
and
was.
the team played so much better as a team
Yep.
without Ronaldo. So that was quite interesting. Obviously, the he'll be worried about the last 20 minutes though.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that so many people within the FPL community kind of went Bruno, and I've saw quite a few people captain him. Like, fair play, hold my hands up. I got the decision wrong, but for having the balls to do that and not only bring him in but to captain him, like, congratulations. Honestly, I quite enjoy seeing people celebrate on Twitter, and I can't stand when people then abuse them in the comments saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, why are you showing us your
Oh,
points?"
shut
And
up.
yeah, just get in the bin. But yeah, for me, like, fair play, and it was just frustrating to see obviously the clean sheets wiped out because I'm a David De Gea owner, and you've obviously Man United defensive cover as well, so that was a little bit frustrating.
I don't in this game, so I
Oh,
was quite happy with that.
you wildcard, yeah, that'd be why. Right, and then jumping on to the Sunday games, and in spite of the fact that Liverpool were obviously missing both Mane and Salah, they had a very comfortable game. It was Liverpool 3, Brentford nil.
Yeah, very very strong performance, and my first week with Jota in my team, and looks like I've broken him, so to speak.
Yep, Arsenal.
uh, Obviously, he had a great chance. He was through on goal, and he just hit it at the keeper. It was
Yeah,
a good
and
save.
he also hit the post as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, that great shot against the post. So I think he was just
He was
unlucky,
unlucky. Yeah,
and this was from playing like sort of out wide where he's allegedly like less effective.
yeah.
But I think he still looked pretty dangerous.
Oh, we did. Yeah, and I mean Fernandez made 10 saves in the game, so I think that sums out kind of the dominance of Liverpool. And when you see, 3 goals, you expect, say, Jota to be involved. So when you look at the scores here, and it's Chamberlain, Fabinho, and Minamino, like, it just sums up the performance really. But Trent doing what Trent does best, kind of came away with an assist, a clean sheet, and a bonus point. Fair play to those people that are on the double up at the moment, because some have gone that way after using, say, the funds of getting rid of Salah. And if you were on that, you've had a massive hole, because both of them got the assists in this game and clean sheets, and Robbo got 3 bonus points as well. So if I
Very
didn't,
nice.
if I didn't have the plans to obviously bring Salah back, and I already own Jota and Trent, I'd have gone Robbo a while ago, because he's a far better asset, say, than Alonso, for instance. And obviously, I'm sat there with Alonso. I'd much prefer Liverpool as a defensive outfit, but you can't have 4, and I'd have to then drop one of them. And arguably, I probably want to keep Jota over a double up defensively moving forward. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, and then the final game on the Sunday, and I watched this up the allotment. Whilst, yeah, I've got an allotment, people. I'm 29 years old, but I'm becoming an old man.
I thought that was like some hipster pub there.
Nope. So I watched this up there whilst I was doing some digging and prepping for the season, and what a game it was. I mean, it took me a lot longer to dig because I was obsessed with this game. It was West Ham 2, Leeds 3.
I don't think anyone expected this game to happen. Really, to be honest, Harrison hat trick is just outrageous. Really.
It was.
I mean, obviously, he did score against Burnley in the prior game, but before that, basically, hadn't returned the entire season.
Yeah, that was it. He had 1 assist against Spurs back in game week 12.
Yeah, and that's it. So, I mean, uh, great performance from Leeds, to be honest. Obviously, they had a few VAR decisions sort of go against them as well. But yeah, they come away with a massive 3 points away at West Ham, I'd say.
Yeah, huge. And they also they scored a fourth, which was unfortunately kind of ruled out for offside. Rodrigo, obviously, he hit. Was it his goal, or was it he that blocked it off the line? I can't remember. It's gone.
I
Gone
can't
from my
remember.
memory. Yeah, but obviously it's that ruling where yeah, it was Cock that hit it and Rodrigo blocked it off the line, but because he was then stood in an offside position, that was unfortunate. So on the other hand, Bowen, got himself a goal, should have equalised right at the death. I don't know what he was doing. Like 99 times out of 100, he puts that away. But obviously, Antonio's whipped in the cross and Bowen's gone for it, and it's just gone. It was a horrendous finish.
Yeah, no idea how he hasn't scored that.
No.
Obviously, he survived my wild card. Obviously, I'd be a fool to take him out.
Yeah, definitely.
After the United game, which will be a big game for them because it's sort of almost Champions League battle for West Ham, which is weird to be saying.
Yeah.
They've got tasty fixtures. They've got Watford at home, Leicester away, Newcastle at home. It's a very good run, and chances are you're already on him.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
probably on Antonio as well. But
I think it's quite a key period for West Ham before obviously the Europa League kicks back up again, to pick up points in these games. And that's the reason why I'm probably going to stick with my double up, even if we get kind of double game week announcements and say Villa, for instance, get a double game week. I'm more likely to move Ronaldo out for someone like Watkins than I am Antonio, in spite of the fact West Ham have no fixtures to catch up on.
yeah, I think that makes sense.
And then jumping on obviously to the double game week fixtures. So we lost out on Burnley Watford, which was a frustration post deadline for those of us that
Yeah.
either went Watford or have them. But we still got the Brighton Chelsea game, and I thought Brighton were brilliant. It was Brighton 1, Chelsea 1.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Brighton. Tuchel said they treated it like a cup game, and they did.
Yeah.
They played very well. Sort of didn't give Chelsea any space to breathe. Um, Kante played quite well in this game.
Mm.
He's been playing quite well consistently in terms of like tackles and stuff. He's been sort of everywhere. Obviously, that's more useful for the Sky game, but he did get an assist in this game.
Yep.
And obviously a very good goal from Ziyech, who actually looked strangely pissed off after he scored.
Yeah, I know. There seemed to be something going on between Ziyech and Lukaku in this game. That they had words before
Right.
they had words before half time, and then going into the tunnel and coming out, they seem to still be having words with each other. It was really strange, but yeah, I don't think there's been a lot of cohesion between that Chelsea attacking line. You know, between him, Pulisic, Lukaku, Mount. There's something not quite clicking, and I think frustration is starting to boil over a little bit.
Yep, looks like it. I'll go back to the Brighton side of things. Obviously, a great header from Webster. Brilliant goal.
Yeah, a brilliant game.
McAllister, another return from McAllister.
Yep.
Obviously, he scored a couple of goals against Everton in the other week. Very cheap buy, would be a differential. Obviously, doesn't play in 24 though, so that's obviously you kind of missed the boat, I guess, if you didn't go for him on the double. But he's still got decent fixtures.
Yeah.
Brighton just looked like a very good team, to be honest.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, very good. And then obviously the final two fixtures, which were last night, was wow, what a comeback! It was Leicester 2, Spurs 3.
Yeah, I couldn't believe this. So like, I mean, obviously a Sky DM on Twitter, and obviously I thought the score was 2-1 Leicester. Well, it was 2-1 Leicester. Next thing you know, I see a message going 3-2. I'm like, what's this
Yeah,
about? I assumed it was about like the AFCON or something. I was like, what are they on about? 3-2. And then I saw, and obviously Bergwijn, wow, come off the bench and 2 goals, the absolute scenes of it as well.
What a substitution!
Have you seen Lucas Moura just picks up that guy's hat
Yeah,
and
just
just throws it up?
nicks the bloke's hat. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, just throws it on the floor.
Yeah, they've beaten the record because obviously I think it was Man City, the Aguero moment. The team with the latest comeback, I think it was 91 minutes from a losing position. It was what, 94-52, I think it is in this game.
Yeah.
Spurs are 2-1 down, and yet imagine being in the way end. Like, oh,
Unbelievable. Imagine the people that bloody left.
yeah,
To beat the
100%.
traffic or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a great example of why you should never ever do that.
Yeah, 100%. That a game's not over until the final whistle, and yeah, Bergwijn came on and changed it. But I thought Spurs themselves looked a lot better than they had previously. Harry Kane was actually looking on form. Obviously got himself a goal and an assist in this one, and he looked lively. And even to be fair to him, even Matt Doherty when he came on,
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good.
I thought he played well, and it's a lot better than what he has been, because I think he's been useless for Spurs since he signed there. But yeah, there just seems to be more of an attacking intent. And see, Højbjerg had one cleared off the line. We all know that he's one of your favourites, and particularly in Sky. But yeah, I think Spurs just looked like something clicked and fully deserved to win this game. Had they lost it, I think on XG they were by far ahead, and it would have been incredibly unfortunate and probably frustrating. So it was good to see them get the win.
Yeah, painful for Leicester fans, though, I imagine.
Yeah, I bet. And then the final game of the double game week, it was Brentford 1, Manchester United 3.
Oh, just fucking Ronaldo, the most frustrating player to watch. It was just, in fairness, it's not his fault, because they hardly got the ball to him.
Yeah, agreed.
He had like probably single figures in terms of touches on the ball. It felt like anyway. It was just very frustrating. And obviously he was very very frustrated when he got took off. He sort of threw his toys out the pram. Rangnick had to sort of sit next to him.
I was going to say he went and sat down next to him, tried to explain it, didn't he? And
speaking to him.
And
I thought that'd get made into a meme. I'm like, that's got to be made into a meme.
It's got to be somewhere. But yeah, obviously it kind of showed. I think Rangnick came out afterwards and said, well, the reason he did it is, they wanted to kind of defensively shore things up a bit, and Man United went on to score again, but then conceded to Tony, which was frustrating as a David De Gea owner. Obviously, he got 7 saves in the game. I think probably looking at decent BPS had he kept a clean sheet. So that was annoying.
Yeah, big frustration for defensive owners. But yeah, but overall, Ronaldo captaincy, obviously, it was extremely painful. I'd rather he just missed out. Obviously, I'd have had Bruno Weiss and Laporte first sub,
Yeah.
which would have been miles better. But I was hopeful when I saw he was starting, but that hope sort of gradually fizzled away. Watching him barely get a touch on the ball, it was they just yeah they don't seem to click as well with him in the team.
No,
And
it's something not quite right with it, and it's annoying because obviously Ronaldo is an exceptional player. He's world class. He's what probably for me. I'm more of a Messi fan than a Ronaldo fan, and I know that splits the audience. But to see Ronaldo back in the Premier League is brilliant. But I just don't think he fits this Man United system. And like you said, it kind of seeing him on the pitch then depletes the attacking output of someone like Greenwood, Bruno, for instance. Statistically, without Ronaldo on the pitch, it looks like there's a lot more cohesion there, and it's one of that. I think I'm going to have to make a decision soon about what I do with Ronaldo, and it is very likely if we get a double game week, he's the one probably to go.
yeah, I've got a big decision with Ronaldo too. The thing is, obviously, if you keep him for this game, they've then got a very good run of fixtures. I don't want to take him out, but then I don't want to take Bruno out because he's also got obviously the same fixtures.
Yeah.
But I need to get Salah in, so something's got to give.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're talking about Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, Watford was the 4 after West Ham this weekend. And yeah, it's a brilliant set before it does arguably turn. They've got 4 or 5 tough games there afterwards, but I think yeah, those 4 fixtures, I just haven't seen enough from Ronaldo for me to hold him. But yeah, if you're on say a Bruno, I think you've got more of a decision to make.
Yeah, and I'm probably edging more towards removing Ronaldo than I am Bruno,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm looking at the likes of Sam Maximin.
Agreed. Yeah. So jumping on then to how we got on this game week, mate. How many points did you end up on?
I finished up on 73,
Nice.
which I'm obviously very happy with. 23 from Fernandez, 11 Cancelo, 10 Alexander Arnold, 7 Bowen, 4 obviously from the Ronaldo captaincy, 4 from Veltman, 4 from Antonio. Frustrating to have Laporte on the bench with 7, and a very surprising 4 points on the bench from Ayling, who I brought in on wildcard. Obviously, I was never going to play him away at West Ham when I've got Bowen and Antonio, but surprise from him. And that sees me up with a green arrow to 226k, which I think is my highest rank of the season so far. So things are going in the right direction.
There you go. Yeah, I think the difference between me and you is Bruno. Bruno, the decision to go Trossard over Bruno cost me 20 points in the end, which is frustrating. So I ended up on 55. It's a red arrow from just not as big as I thought, to be fair. I've dropped from 49k to 56k. So
That's all right. That's not too bad.
I can't complain. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. It's just basically a case of I've got to reassess and decide where I want to go from there. But I don't really want to slip any further. That's the big worry. As for moving on to next week, I think it's difficult to discuss kind of where we go because it feels like obviously it's game week 23 Friday to Sunday, but there are rumours that they might be adding fixtures to February the 5th, for instance. I know it's an FA Cup weekend, but those teams that aren't playing in the FA Cup could then go in. And there's talk about, I think it's Burnley, Watford, for instance. Villa, Leeds could maybe even go there. That's been discussed. So until we know that, I think it's really hard to say what way I want to go captaincy. So I think we just avoid talking about it.
Fair enough.
All right. We've got a couple of questions that I think I want to quickly touch on before we wrap up the podcast. So let's go one from FPL Thomas. Let's go for his non-football question because I think it's maybe a quicker answer and more of a fun one. A non-football question. Can each of you name a popular TV series that you personally don't rate as very good?
Friends.
Yeah, I'm going to bug you here. Peep Show.
Oh, fuck off.
I knew that would get you going. Knew it.
Very good.
One from FPL Glasto. So if you were a fruit or veg, what would you be and why?
Um, a cherry because I'm sweet.
Oh, that's cute. I'd be a pineapple because I can be quite, hard and sharp on the outside, but I'm soft and juicy in the
You
middle.
missed you missed the obvious one. Orange.
Oh, piss off. Dick. Right, and then to obviously end the podcast, let's go for Tom Hartnell's question. So, how many sugars do you have in your tea?
Half a sugar.
Ha- What's the point? I don't have any sugar in tea. I have one sweetener in my coffee, but yeah, I'm very much just a builder's tea kind of guy. So, guys, I think that will pretty much sum up the podcast for FPL. Good luck for the game week. Fingers crossed we get any double game week announcements before the deadline. And good luck, guys. Hope you get a green arrow. So it is a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Cheers, guys.